Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt like the day controls you instead of the other way around? You wake up, check your phone, respond to emails, get stuck in traffic, deal with unexpected issues, and before you know it, the day's over, and you wonder where the time went. Let me tell you something powerful. Either you run the day, or the day runs you. That simple truth, spoken by the great Jim Rohn, holds the secret to productivity, purpose, and peace. Too often, we let our days happen to us. We don't set intentions, we don't manage our time, we just react. But life isn't meant to be lived on autopilot. It's meant to be directed, guided, and led by you. Every morning is a chance to decide, will you own the day or will you survive it? Running the day means starting with a clear plan. It means knowing what matters and refusing to waste energy on what doesn't. It means waking up with purpose, not just with an alarm clock. You run the day by taking control of your habits. You don't wait for motivation, you create systems. You don't scroll aimlessly, you set goals. You don't let stress dominate, you manage it with strategy, focus, and discipline. But when you don't take charge, life will fill the gap with distractions. That's how the day runs you through endless notifications, pointless meetings, and other people's agendas. You weren't made to drift. You were made to drive. Success isn't built on big moments. It's built on daily choices. You win your future one day at a time, and it all begins by choosing to run your day with clarity, with courage, and with intention. So, tomorrow when you wake up, don't just open your eyes. Open your mind. Choose to be the leader of your day, not a follower of chaos. The first and most crucial step to running your day is to start with intention. This means more than just waking up early or having a to-do list. It's about beginning each day with a clear sense of purpose, direction, and inner clarity about what you want to achieve, how you want to feel, and who you want to be. When you start your day without intention, you leave your time, energy, and focus vulnerable to outside forces, emails, social media, unexpected interruptions, or even your own scattered thoughts. You might find yourself reacting all day instead of leading your day forward. But when you begin your morning with intentionality, you step into the driver's seat of your life. You define your goals for the day. You visualize your success. You prioritize what truly matters instead of letting the loudest demands win your attention. Think of intention as the internal compass that points you toward progress. It's not just about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Whether it's dedicating time to a meaningful project, strengthening a relationship, or taking care of your health, starting your day with intention ensures that your actions align with your values. You may begin this process the night before or first thing in the morning, but it must be deliberate. Write down your top 3 priorities, reflect on what a successful day looks like for you, ask yourself, what do I want to create, contribute, or change today? Starting with intention is a declaration to yourself and the universe that your day will not be wasted. You are choosing to live it with. One of the biggest differences between people who control their day and those who are controlled by it lies in one simple habit: being proactive instead of reactive. This principle is the backbone of productivity, peace of mind, and personal growth. To be proactive means that you initiate action. You anticipate problems before they arise. You plan ahead instead of waiting for emergencies, and you make deliberate choices based on your long-term goals, not short-term emotions or pressures. In contrast, a reactive person constantly finds themselves putting out fires. Their energy is spent on handling whatever life throws at them, rather than creating the life they want. They open their phone and immediately get pulled into other people's needs. They check their inbox before setting their priorities. They let their moods, distractions, and outside noise steer the direction of their day. But being proactive is about taking responsibility for your time, energy, and direction. It's about deciding how your day will unfold rather than letting the day decide for you. It means you wake up and ask yourself, what do I need to do today to move forward? Instead of what's waiting for me to respond to. Proactivity gives you the power to steer conversations, to choose your reactions, to control your schedule, and to protect your mental space. It doesn't mean everything will go according to plan, but it does mean you're prepared. You're leading with purpose, not following chaos. Being proactive is a mindset one that says, if you want to run your day instead of letting the day run you, one of the most vital disciplines you must develop is the ability to eliminate distractions. In today's fast-paced, notification-driven world, distraction is the silent killer of focus, productivity, and progress. Distractions come in many forms. Some are digital endless scrolling on social media, emails that don't need immediate replies, YouTube rabbit holes, or meaningless notifications. Others are physical cluttered environments, noise, or even people pulling you away from what matters. And then there are internal distractions, wandering thoughts, lack of clarity, fatigue, and self-doubt. To eliminate distractions, you must first identify them honestly. What steals your attention most? Where does your time leak away during the day? Often, it's not the big interruptions that derail us, it's the small, consistent distractions that chip away at our focus minute by minute. Eliminating distractions isn't just about removing things, it's about protecting your attention like a valuable resource, because your attention is your power. Wherever it goes, your energy flows. And if you constantly allow your attention to be hijacked, you'll find yourself exhausted but unproductive, busy but not effective. This means setting boundaries with people, with technology, and even with your own habits. It may mean turning off notifications, creating focus hours, silencing your phone, or organizing your workspace. It could also mean saying no more often, especially to tasks that do not serve your core goals. Discipline in this area is not about being rigid. It's about being. If you truly want to own your day and take control of your life, you can't rely on motivation alone. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes like the weather. What lasts, what drives consistent action, and what builds real momentum are systems and habits. Systems are structured ways of doing things. They create order, repeatability, and reliability in your day. Whether it's a morning routine, a time-blocking method, or a checklist that guides your workday, systems reduce decision fatigue and increase your efficiency. You no longer have to think about what to do, your system already tells you. Habits are the small, repeated actions that shape your future. They're your invisible foundation. If you build strong habits like starting your day with planning, reading instead of scrolling, exercising regularly, or reviewing your goals each night, you begin to automate excellence. Establishing habits doesn't require huge changes overnight. It starts small, but what's important is consistency. When you tie your habits to a system, you create a rhythm that carries you even when your energy dips or life gets busy. For example, a system like plan tomorrow before going to bed, combined with the habit of writing your top 3 tasks each night, ensures you start the next day with clarity and control. Or a morning routine with meditation, journaling, and movement prepares your body and mind for peak performance. Without systems and habits, you rely on willpower, and willpower is a limited resource. But with strong systems in place, you design a daily structure that keeps you aligned with your goals even when you don't feel like it. Systems provide the how, and habits build the momentum. Together, they. One of the most transformative shifts you can make in your life is to fully and unapologetically take responsibility for your day and ultimately, your destiny. This is not just about being accountable for your actions. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your hours, the architect of your schedule, and the commander of your energy. Too many people walk through life blaming circumstances. I didn't have time. The meeting ran long. I was too tired. Things got in the way. But here's the truth. Life will always throw curveballs. Time will always be limited. And distractions will always exist. But those who rise, those who grow, and those who truly thrive are the ones who refuse to give their power away. Taking responsibility means saying, I may not control everything that happens to me, but I will always control how I respond and how I use my time. It's about looking at your calendar and realizing that what's on there is a reflection of your priorities, not your excuses. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for the right moment, for the perfect conditions, or for someone else to motivate you. You become self-led. You stop pointing fingers and start taking ownership. This is when you move from a life of reaction to a life of intention. This mindset changes everything. Because once you accept that your time is yours to manage, you begin to protect it. You begin to shape your days around what matters most. You begin to say no to noise and yes to purpose. And you begin to realize that each day is not just something you go through, it's something you. One of the most powerful ways to take control of your day is to learn the discipline of focusing on what truly matters. In a world overflowing with tasks, choices, and distractions, not everything deserves your time, and not everything moves you forward. Too often, people mistake being busy for being productive. They rush from one activity to another, check off dozens of small tasks, and feel exhausted by the end of the day, yet they've made no real progress on their most important goals. This is the trap of urgency over importance. Focusing on what matters means identifying your highest value activities, the ones that directly support your purpose, your priorities, and your personal growth. It means getting clear on what actually drives results in your life or work, and having the courage to let go of the rest. The 80/20 principle, or Pareto principle, tells us that roughly 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So the real question is, are you spending your best energy on the right 20%? This focus requires more than awareness, it requires intentional action. It might mean starting your day with deep work on a creative project rather than diving into emails. It could mean choosing to have one meaningful conversation instead of attending 5 unproductive meetings. It could even mean cutting out certain commitments altogether, so you have the space to go deeper on what really matters. Focusing on what matters also means aligning your actions with your values. It's not just about productivity, it's about purpose. When your daily efforts reflect what's meaningful to you, whether it's family, creativity, service, health, or growth, your days become more than full. They become. When it comes to running your day and building a life of progress and purpose, one of the most underrated truths is this: consistency beats perfection. Too often, people wait for the perfect time to start something, the perfect mood, to take action, or the perfect plan to execute a goal. But perfection is an illusion, and chasing it only leads to procrastination and disappointment. Consistency, on the other hand, is real. It's simple. It's powerful. It's the daily commitment to show up, even when conditions aren't ideal. It's doing the small things again and again, even when they don't feel glamorous or exciting. And over time, those small, consistent actions compound into massive results. Perfection tells you to wait until everything is right. Consistency tells you to start with what you have. Perfection wants the flawless workout, the flawless morning routine, the flawless execution. But consistency just asks for one thing: show up today and then show up again tomorrow. Those who achieve lasting success in business, in health, in relationships are rarely the ones who do everything perfectly. They are the ones who stay the course, who push through boredom, setbacks, and distractions. They miss a day, maybe two, but they don't quit. They don't restart every Monday. They recommit every single day. Consistency builds trust not only with others, but with yourself. Every time you follow through, even in a small way, you prove to yourself that you are capable, disciplined, and focused, and that inner trust is the foundation of long-term achievement. So instead of setting impossible standards and punishing yourself when you fall short, to run your day effectively, it's not just about time management, it's about energy management. You can have a perfectly planned schedule, but if your mental, emotional, or physical energy is drained, your performance will suffer. Every task, interaction, or thought either charges you or drains you. Learning to protect and renew your energy is a skill that separates the overwhelmed from the unstoppable. This means recognizing when to rest and when to push. It means nourishing your body with good food, giving your mind breaks through mindfulness or nature, and surrounding yourself with people who uplift rather than drain you. It means stepping away from toxic inputs, whether it's negative news, gossip, or self-criticism, and replacing them with inspiration, gratitude, and stillness. Energy is your fuel. Guard it fiercely. The way you manage your energy determines the quality of your day, not just the quantity of things you accomplish. One of the most powerful secrets to running your day instead of letting it run you is to master the first hour of your day. Why? Because the first 60 minutes after you wake up shape the mental tone, emotional energy, and direction of everything that follows. The way you begin your day is often the way you live it. Most people wake up and immediately reach for their phones. The first things they absorb are notifications, news, social media, and other people's opinions. Instantly, their focus is external, scattered, and reactive. But this habit puts you in a reaction loop before your day has even begun. Mastering the first hour means taking full control of that sacred space. It means starting your day on your terms, not the world's. This is the time to invest in your mind, your body, and your goals, even if it's just for a few minutes. It could begin with silence, prayer, meditation, deep breathing to center yourself. Follow it with movement, stretching, a quick workout, or a walk to activate your energy. Then engage your mind, journaling, reading, or reviewing your goals. Set your top priorities for the day before checking messages. Design your mindset before facing challenges. When you begin your day with intention, clarity, and confidence, you're no longer reacting, you're leading. The rest of the day flows from a place of strength. You don't chase focus, you command it. You don't search for motivation, you've already created it. By mastering the first hour, you create a buffer between your inner world and the outside world. You give yourself time to align, to strengthen, to prepare. This hour becomes your launch. Add the space where. One of the most empowering ways to run your day and ultimately your life is to learn how to say no, with confidence, clarity, and without guilt. Time is your most limited resource, and if you don't guard it, others will consume it for you. Every yes you say to something unimportant is a no to something deeply meaningful. This is why high performers, deep thinkers, and creators protect their time and energy with strong, intentional boundaries. They understand that focus requires sacrifice. You can't do it all, and you shouldn't try to. Learning to say no is about protecting your priorities. It means turning down requests, meetings, events, or conversations that don't align with your goals or values. Not because you're rude, but because you're disciplined. Many people struggle with saying no out of fear, fear of disappointing others, fear of missing out, fear of being judged. But here's the truth. Saying yes to everything makes you average. Saying no with purpose makes you effective. It earns you respect, and more importantly, it earns you back your time. Saying no doesn't require long explanations. A respectful, clear response is enough. I appreciate the offer, but I'm focused on a different priority right now. That sounds great, but I need to pass this time. I won't be able to commit, but thank you for thinking of me. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve your bigger purpose, you say yes to your vision. You protect your calendar, your creativity, and your mental peace. The strongest people aren't the ones who do the most, they're the ones who. To truly run your day with strength and clarity, you must learn to plan your day intentionally, but also remain flexible when life takes unexpected turns. Planning gives you structure, focus, and momentum. Flexibility gives you resilience, calm, and adaptability. When you plan your day through time blocks, task lists, or setting priorities, you create a framework for success. It tells your brain what matters, organizes your energy, and prevents you from wasting time on trivial activities. A good plan turns chaos into clarity. But here's the truth. No plan survives perfectly intact. Life happens, delays occur, emergencies arise, people cancel, technology fails, and that's where many people get discouraged because they confuse structure with rigidity. Flexibility is the art of adjusting without losing control. It's the ability to bend without breaking. When your mindset embraces change as part of the process, you become more powerful. You don't fall apart when something shifts, you recalculate. You don't abandon the entire day. Because of one disruption, you reallocate your focus and move forward. Planning gives you a map. Flexibility helps you navigate the detours. When combined, they make you unstoppable. You maintain clarity while moving with life's unpredictability. You don't use change as an excuse, you use it as a pivot point. This mindset prevents frustration and burnout because you accept that not everything will go according to schedule, and that's okay. The goal isn't to force the day to be perfect. The goal is to. If you truly want to run your day, rather than letting the day run you, one of the most powerful habits you can build is to track your progress at the end of each day. Why? Because progress that isn't measured often goes unnoticed, and unnoticed progress leads to lost motivation, scattered focus, and wasted potential. Daily tracking is not about being rigid or obsessively recording every moment. It's about checking in with yourself, your goals, your growth, your decisions, and your energy. It's about taking a moment each evening to ask, what did I accomplish today? What did I learn? Where did I waste time? What can I improve tomorrow? This level of reflection turns your day into feedback. You begin to notice patterns, what makes you productive, what drains you, which habits are working, and where your attention leaks. Over time, these insights become the blueprint for continuous improvement. Tracking progress also builds momentum. When you see that you're moving even slowly toward your goals, it fuels your confidence and discipline. You start realizing that success isn't about huge leaps. It's about showing up each day, measuring what matters, and adjusting course. You can do this in many ways: a journal, a digital tracker, a habit app, or simply a notebook. What matters most is that you develop the habit of awareness, because without awareness, you drift. With awareness, you direct, you stop guessing, and you start leading. You don't live each day as an isolated event, you live it as a. To truly run your day and not let the day run you, you must take control of one of the most powerful forces influencing your behavior, decisions, and emotions, your inner dialogue. That voice in your head, the one narrating your thoughts, interpreting your experiences, and shaping your self-perception. has the power to elevate or sabotage your entire day. Most people are unaware of how often their internal voice works against them. It whispers doubt in the face of opportunity. You're not good enough. This is too hard. You always mess this up. Why even try? Left unchecked, this internal narrative becomes your default mindset, one that creates hesitation, anxiety, and procrastination. And once that voice takes over, the day begins to control you. Every task feels heavier. Every challenge seems bigger. Every goal looks farther away. But when you become conscious of your inner dialogue, everything changes. You realize that you can interrupt it, reshape it, and retrain it to support your growth instead of undermining it. This doesn't mean faking positivity or ignoring struggle. It means replacing self-judgment with self-coaching. It means speaking to yourself with the same strength and compassion you would offer a close friend. It means saying, "This is tough, but I've handled tougher. I don't need to be perfect, I just need to make progress. I am capable, focused, and getting better every day." Controlling your inner voice is like tuning your mind to the right frequency. Instead of static, fear, and doubt, you begin to hear direction, resilience, and clarity. And when your thoughts align with your goals, to truly run your day instead of letting it run you, you must ensure that your daily actions are aligned with your deeper purpose. Without that alignment, you may stay busy, you may even achieve short-term wins, but you'll often feel unfulfilled, scattered, or disconnected. Purpose is what gives meaning to the motion. It's the why behind the what. When your actions are in sync with your purpose, your day transforms from a checklist into a mission. Even the small, ordinary tasks begin to feel significant because they contribute to a larger vision, one that's rooted in your values, passions, and goals. You're no longer just working through hours, you're building something intentional with every decision. This alignment brings clarity. You stop chasing every opportunity and start filtering your choices through one powerful question. Does this move me closer to the life I want to live? Suddenly, you're not just managing time, you're investing it. Your calendar reflects your convictions. Your energy is no longer wasted on things that look impressive but feel empty. Instead, you start saying yes to work that matters, conversations that inspire, and routines that elevate your potential. When you live in alignment with purpose, your motivation becomes internal. You don't rely on external praise, trends, or urgency to act. You wake up driven because you know that each moment has meaning, each task, even the boring or challenging ones, are stepping stones to something that matters deeply to you. And with this kind of alignment, your decisions become easier, your distractions lose power, and your direction becomes. If you want to truly run your day instead of letting it run you, one of the most powerful tools you can use is the concept of non-negotiables. These are the core habits or practices that happen every single day, no matter what. They are not optional, they are your anchors. Non-negotiables are small but powerful rituals that keep you aligned, focused, and grounded. They're the daily actions that reinforce your values and remind you of your priorities. They might not be dramatic, but they are deliberate, and their consistency builds discipline, momentum, and identity. Think about it. What are the 2-3 things you need to do each day to stay sharp, healthy, or motivated? It might be 30 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes of journaling or prayer, a digital detox before bedtime, drinking enough water, planning your next day. Before sleeping, these aren't massive goals. They're small, intentional acts that form the foundation of a productive day. They create structure in chaos. They serve as psychological signals that you are in control. The power of non-negotiables is that they happen even when the day gets messy. You might miss a deadline, face unexpected problems, or feel off, But if you return to your non-negotiables, you return to your center. You remind yourself, no matter what happens around me, these few things are mine. Non-negotiables are a declaration of self-respect. They show the world, and more importantly, yourself, that your well-being, clarity, and standards come first. They turn routines into rituals and habits into identity, because the person who runs their day isn't the one who does everything, but the one who consistently does that. When you're committed to running your day, to leading your time, energy, and goals with purpose, it's vital to remember this truth. You will face resistance. You will have hard days, low energy, unexpected challenges, and moments when everything feels off track. In those moments, the key is not to quit, it's to pause. Quitting is a permanent decision based on a temporary emotion. It's often a reaction to overwhelm, exhaustion, or fear. But a pause, a conscious step back, is an act of wisdom. It's your way of catching your breath, resetting your focus, and recalibrating your energy without abandoning your mission. Learning to pause gives you perspective. Instead of spiraling into frustration or burnout, you step away with the intention of coming back stronger. A pause may look like taking a short walk, meditating for 5 minutes, journaling your thoughts, or simply closing your eyes and breathing deeply. Sometimes, it means giving yourself permission to not be perfect for a moment. When you develop the habit of pausing rather than quitting, you build emotional endurance. You learn that setbacks are not signs to stop, they're signals to adjust. You start recognizing that fatigue is not failure, and delay does not mean defeat. Successful people are not those who never stumble, they're the ones who know how to recover with intention. They pause when necessary, but never disconnect from the larger purpose. They understand that rest is part of growth, and that control is not about pushing harder, it's about choosing wisely when to act, when to rest, and when to